Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am one of those Americans who's concerned about the fact that Americans tend to pay a lot more for drugs than do people in other countries, and have looked for ways to see if we couldn't have some kind of global recognition of the prices that are available in other countries and limiting our drug prices to those that may be consistent with a basket of other countries that purchase and honor our patents. That being said, I reject the idea of, if you will, an ex post facto effort on the part of some to say, oh, we provided some money in research, a lot of money in research to Moderna, and therefore we want to take the ownership of this product. That would simply be unfair and contrary to our system of law. I would also note that the U.S. investment in Moderna's effort, I would comprise a portion that went to research and fast-tracking the vaccine versus actually purchasing vaccine that was being manufactured by Moderna. The latter was the great bulk of what the United States government invested, if you will, and actually the wrong word is invested. We purchased a lot of product from Moderna, glad we did. I'd also note this, which is this is a global demonstration that the world can look at as to the comparison between socialism and capitalism. Free enterprise created vaccines that saved millions of lives. And the history of Moderna, I think, is pretty interesting. You indicated the company started 10 years before COVID. 10 years. It had no products during that time. No revenues at all. The investment, you said, if I got it right, was $3.8 billion. So that meant individuals responsible for investing money put $3.8 billion into a new technology that might or might not work. I recall understanding that at one point you indicated to your family that you thought there was a 5% chance it would work. Yeah. This technology would work. So if I'm an investor putting $3.8 billion in an enterprise that has a 5% chance of working, I got to expect that if it does work, I'm going to make an awful lot of money. Now, I've heard people say, well, that's corporate greed. Yeah, that's kind of how the free enterprise system works, which is people who start enterprises say, I'm going to take a huge risk, invest my life savings, my career, and if it works, I get a huge return. If it doesn't, I lose it all. There are right now in our country hundreds of startup businesses trying to develop drugs that'll cure diseases. I happen to know that because I invested in some in my prior life. I lost my money in every single one. Studied them as well as we could. We lost our money. That's the nature of it. But we thought if it works, we're going to really get a huge return for ourselves and for our investors. So, I don't know how much money is the right amount of money, but the idea that somehow corporate greed has just been invented in America is absurd. It's been there for the beginning of free enterprise. Individuals investing, hoping that if it succeeds, they'll do very well financially, extraordinarily well. So I want to applaud the example we have. By the way, the socialist countries, China and Russia and Northern Europe, did they come up with a vaccine that saved lives? No, they didn't. Pfizer got technology from a German company, free enterprise company, Moderna, and saved lives. It is a stark demonstration of the comparison between free enterprise and socialism. And free enterprise works, and socialism doesn't when it comes to saving our lives. Now, I look at the technology which you're proposing to continue to develop in other areas, and I guess I want to ask, what are the kinds of things that you're working on now? What are the prospects that you believe for some of these to make a real difference in saving lives or improving lives? Is this a one-off technology? mRNA, is this something which is really just effective for vaccines, or does it have broader application? And what will you do with the money that the company is making? By the way, I noted that you're a billionaire now. Did the company pay you a salary of billions of dollars?
No, Senator.
You're a billionaire because the stock that you got when you started the company, you kept some of it, I presume. Mm-hmm. That stock is now worth a lot of money because your technology's been proven to actually work. Is it going to work beyond vaccines? And what kinds of things are you working on?
So thank you, Senator. So we're very excited because this is a platform that we worked on for 10 years. We shared just before Christmas exciting data in cancer, which we are very excited because, of course, all of us have been touched or are being touched right now by cancer. And we show 44% reduction in recurrence of disease for melanoma cancer or deaths. We are working very quickly to get this with the FDA in a phase 3 study this year. We're also working with our partners at Merck to try this into the lung. And we're going to want to explore as many tumor types as we can to see where can we help people. Because if that result translates to other tumor type, which we believe should happen, we have to be careful and, of course, wait for the clinical data. That could help a lot of people. We're also working on rare genetic disease. One of the reasons I got excited about Moderna in the early days is, I have children.
I'm sorry. Senator Romney's speech on socialism took up the bulk of the time. We have to go to Senator Murray right now.
As did our chairman.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, for holding this hearing. Mr. Bancel, welcome.